Welcome back to Whiskey Wednesday. Today I'm here with our Executive Vice President, Jamie Siefken, and we're going to talk about all things Cedar Ridge bottled and bond. So enjoy. So the rules to qualify as a bottled and bond whiskey are actually fairly simple. The whiskey has to be produced entirely at one distillery under one head distiller, and then it has to be produced in one specific season. So the two different seasons are January through June or July through December, and then it has to be aged in a federally bonded warehouse for a minimum of 4 years. The last one is that when you bottle it, it has to be bottled at 100 proof. So those are the rules to qualify as a bottled and bond.
Bottled and Bond will be released this weekend. It will first be available at Cedar Ridge. We have our Bourbon and Blues Festival every year over the July 4th weekend. And this year, we're actually going to release a few cases outside the state. So there's not going to be a lot available, but Nebraska, Missouri, Wisconsin, and Illinois will all get a few cases. So if you're lucky enough to find a bottle, I'd recommend picking up one and trying it. It is definitely one of my favorite whiskeys that we produce here at Cedar Ridge.
What I always like to do is I like to look for barrels that have flavor peaks. And what I mean when I say that, for instance, if I'm going to pick a single barrel to bottle on its own and not blend, I'm looking for something that's well balanced. But if I'm going to do a blend, whether it's single malt, bourbon, rye, you name it, I'm actually looking for a number of different flavor peaks that we can then blend together, and I hope that those flavor peaks carry through into the final product. For instance, if I find one barrel that's almost off balance and really heavy in caramel, I like blending those with other barrels, and I hope that caramel note comes through. So that's usually what I'm doing. I'm looking for those flavor peaks and hoping that they carry through to the final product.
This year, we're a little bit more towards the sweeter side again. So when we picked out the blends and like Murphy talked about on the different peaks of the barrels that we chose this year, were more sweeter, a lot of brown sugar, creme brulee type of notes. So we're excited to get everyone's thoughts and opinions, and I know I'll be drinking one over the weekend.
This is a great question, and thanks for asking it, by the way. And it's funny because I knew that there were bottled and bond ryes out there, but for one reason or another, I've just never considered doing it here. And I imagine at some point we will end up doing a bottled and bond rye. Maybe next year, maybe the year after that, we'll put that one into play. But thanks for bringing it up.
I would check with your favorite retailer. There won't be anything available online this year, unfortunately. Again, just 400 cases that we made. So if you're lucky enough to find a bottle, I recommend grabbing it and definitely take it and put it in your bar and open it up on a special occasion, because it is going to be a special bottle of whiskey.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us. Thanks so much for joining us again for Whiskey Wednesday.
Thanks again for having me, Murph.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us again for Whiskey Wednesday.
Don't forget, this weekend at Cedar Ridge, we have Bourbon and Blues all weekend. Some additional acts and lineups and everything you can catch on our website. And again, the bottled and bond will be available.